understand. I could have had class. I could have been a contender.
Hulk. Smash.
Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me.
Here's Johnny.
What do you want?
Hey, motherfucker.
You never go ass to mouth.
Now what is so damn funny?
And here we go.
We will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight.
Force will be with you. Always.
But the truth! You can't handle the truth! Showtime, everybody! Showtime!
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Fanboys Anonymous Movie Club. This month, February, we're doing Oscar-nominated movies. Joining me on this month's panel, the owner, CEO, the man that makes Fanboys Anonymous tick, Tony Mango.
I know how to make it tick. I know all the things that piss it off.
Poking and prodding.
Damn right.
And also joining us, the Scream Queen herself, Caroline Oliveira.
Hello.
So this month, we're going to be talking about Oscar-nominated movies, like I had said previously. And the first movie on our slate is Ex Machina. Did I say it right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Machina. It's the Jewish robot. No, it's a British, 2015 British science fiction psychological thriller film written and directed by Alex Garland in his directing debut. It stars Domhnall. Oh, God, I'm going to butcher it.
I'm not even sure how to pronounce that dude's name.
Domhnall Gleeson, Alicia Vikander, and Oscar Isaac. I think I got that last one. Ex Machina tells the story of a programmer, Caleb Smith, who is invited by his employer, the eccentric billionaire Nathan Bateman, to administer the Turing test to an android with artificial intelligence. It was made on a budget of about $15 million, a film that grossed over $36.9 million worldwide and received critical acclaim. The movie itself was nominated for, in the Academy Awards section, for Best Original Screenplay and Best Visual Effects. Tony, what were your initial thoughts on this film?
Well, I've been watching as many of the Oscar films as I possibly could this time around, and I usually try to do that, but at the same time, some of it's a lot of bullshit, like I'm not watching Brooklyn, the hell with that. And Ex Machina was one that I was just like, you know what, it's not nominated for Best Picture, but it seems pretty interesting. I actually liked it quite a bit, and I am a little bit pissed that it's not nominated for Best Picture.
Caroline, what was your thoughts?
I agree. I loved this movie. I think it's one of the best examples for psychological thriller and sci-fi together, out there. And it was just awesome. It was awesome.
So the cast consisted of people of names that I can't say. So Domhnall Gleeson is Caleb Smith, Alicia Vikander as Ava, Oscar Isaac as Nathan Bateman. Some of the supporting cast was Sonoya Mizuno as Kyoko, Samira A. Templeman as Jasmine, Elena Amenius as Amber, Ghana, not gonna say that guy's name, as Jade, Tiffany Pisana as Katya, Claire Selby as Lily, and Corey Johnson as Jay, the helicopter pilot. When it comes to casting, Caroline, what did you think overall with the casting that was done for this movie?
Okay, the guy that plays Caleb, I adore him. He was in one of the episodes of one of the best shows I've seen in the last few years called Black Mirror. And it's really interesting because it's the same kind of sci-fi thriller aspect to it. I love him. I kind of have a weird crush on him because he kind of looks like a leprechaun, but he's so cute. So I loved him in that movie. I think he's super vulnerable. At the same time, he's highly impressionable and in the verge of a mental breakdown. I loved it. Alicia Vikander, whatever. She's gorgeous. I kind of felt like for a second I thought that it was Natalie Portman in the movie. But yeah, great. I mean, her is the only one that I would say I could see another actress playing her role, but I don't have anything bad to say about her. And Bateman is also amazing. He's a definition of the douchebag, and I love that. No one in that movie made me feel like, oh my god, this guy is making the movie bad or the acting's flawed. I think they did a really good job.
Tony, what were your thoughts on the casting?
I think it's Domhnall Gleeson.
Domhnall?
Yeah, it's one of those weird things where it might be like the M and the H are silent or something. I don't know. Good old Donnie, I guess. I don't know.
I like it.
Gleeson. We'll just call him Gleeson.
Yeah.
He's more than capable. He kind of seems really vulnerable in the movie, so you sort of feel for him being like that nerd that is all excited to be just kind of like, I'm working with the guy from Google, like that kind of a thing. I was surprised at Oscar Isaac. I didn't think that he'd be as much of a douche that he was. You're right about that. He really came off as a complete asshat and a total drunk and whatever. And it's weird to see that these two characters are the total opposites of what they are in Star Wars. Because you got Gleeson is just like this meek, frail little, I'm sorry, I'm a little nerd. And then you take him in Star Wars, and he's screaming, and he's very Hitlery, and all this kind of shit. And then you got Oscar Isaac, who is this drunken, morally decrepit type of jerk, and then he's this charismatic, nice guy in Star Wars, so that was odd. Vikander, she was amazing in this, I thought. I bought her as being some kind of cyborg or artificial intelligence pretty much the entire time, and the only times where I thought maybe the opposite was when she was fully clothed and had hair and all that, and I was just like, okay, they did this because it's like a special effects thing. It's a lot easier at some point to just be like, can you just be like normal instead of us having to put green screen shit on your face? But she was great. I loved the idea that you could see kind of like the way that she twitched her face a little bit now and then. It was a little bit robotic, and just something was off about her. And I don't know why she's not nominated for Best Actress for this. And she's nominated for The Danish Girl, but I haven't seen that yet, so I don't know.
She was nominated for it for the Golden Globe Awards for Best Supporting Actress.
That makes sense. Did she win it, do you know, by any chance?
It just says nominated, so I'm going to guess the Golden Globes haven't happened yet.
No, they did happen, so she must have lost.
She lost. Excellent host.
She was great, though.
To give you a few facts about this movie, it was directed by Alex Garland, produced by Andrew McDonald and Alan Reich, written by Alex Garland. Music was by Ben Salisbury, not the steak, Jeff Barrow, cinematography by Rob Hardy, edited by Mark Day. Production company was DNA Films, Universal Pictures, and Film 4, and distributed by Universal Pictures internationally and A24 Films locally. The release date was January 21st, 2015, with a runtime of 108 minutes. The country of origin is United Kingdom, but the language is English because that's what they do over there. The budget was $15 million, and then the box office was $36.9 million. So they doubled their budget. Rotten Tomatoes scored the film a rating of 92% based on 221 reviews, and with a rating average of 8 out of 10. So, bam. They liked it. Some of the things to talk about here is like one of the things, musical score. It was composed by Ben Salisbury, the steak, and Jeff Barrow, who previously worked on Garland on Dread. A soundtrack album that was released digitally on 20th January of 2015 with an LP and compact disc. What did you guys think of the music in the film? Tony?
I don't really remember it all that much, but that might be a good thing. Like, it didn't get in the way, and it was just kind of like mood setting, I guess. So I guess that kind of works.
Caroline?
Yeah, I agree. I was trying to think like, music in the movie. I'm just really bad with music in general. I can tell when it bothers me or it takes me out of the movie, which I'll get to it in a different movie we're gonna talk about. But yeah, I was fine with it. I'm sure that people that understand music better than we do probably think it's lovely, but
I'll tell you one scene with the music that was kind of came out of the blue, that dance scene.
Oh yeah, the dance scene. No, but that was awesome. Okay, like he worked that choreography with the robot. Okay, like can you imagine them like practicing together? Like that's so cute.
Well, I was just like, I was not expecting it at that point in the movie to just be like, you're starting to get all nervous about things, and you're starting to actually kind of like, I don't know, you're predicting ideas like, well, is Caleb a robot himself? Is this the real test? And all these other kind of stories and stuff like that going through your mind, and then suddenly it's just like, you want to dance?
I feel like that just builds around Bateman's character though. Like, he's so eccentric, and I don't know about you guys, but throughout the movie, I couldn't trust him at all. I was like on the edge of my seat with him because I thought that he was gonna be, the main villain, and he was gonna do something horrible at the end. Which I guess at the end of the day, like, he made her. So, well, but anyways, I just felt that when he was doing that, it kind of reminded me a little bit of American Psycho, when they do the music in that movie, when he's about to kill somebody and he's playing like a cheery old song. Like, that's what it made me think about.
Plus, he's
Bateman. Just like unsettling. Yeah, exactly. Bateman, yeah.
These Batemans, you gotta watch out when they put music on.
This is Huey Lewis, the news. One interesting thing I'm reading here on the Wikipedia page, the source of my material, the way they did the marketing is they used the dating app Tinder, and a profile was created for Ava with the image of Alicia Vikander at the South by Southwest Festival where the film was screened. If you matched with the Ava character on Tinder, a text conversation occurred that led users to the Instagram handle promoting the film. According to Brent Lang, when compared with similar film releases in the same year, Ex Machina catered to young audiences. Do you think that's an interesting way to get to people? As someone who uses Tinder, that pisses me off. But Caroline, what do you think?
I think that's awesome. Like, I don't use Tinder, so but I remember reading about that, and it got me really excited. I think that we're in this very weird age where everybody, even really like the older generation, are starting to get into social media, or actually like really into it. Like, my great aunt has Facebook, and she's like really active on it. And I feel like if that was a few years ago, that whole idea would have been just insane. So I think it was kind of cute that they took like the dating app, which I feel like when this movie came out, Tinder was like breaking out and people were really talking about it, and they used it to promote this movie and this character, which, makes a lot of sense. Like, she makes Caleb fall in love with her. So I think that was a good idea. Didn't piss me off.
Tony, what are your thoughts?
I would have swiped right on that immediately.
Exactly. And then you get matched, like, oh my god, this hot chick that I don't even know who she is likes me, and then turns out they're a fucking robot.
Right, I'd be like, did anybody ever tell you looked like Alicia Vikander? Well, she was adorable in the movie, and kind of creepy at the same time, though, I have to admit, when she puts the clothes on. And at that point, I was just kind of like, all right, I would fall for her, I'm sure. This robot would be talking to me, and I'd be like, oh, she is kind of hot. So if they did the Tinder thing, I'd fall for it, and then I'd get pissed.
That's exactly what happens. I get pissed when bots get me now.
Right?
For not promoting a movie. It's like, damn it! Someone actually talked to me, and then you're not real. I don't care about your cam.
Yeah, I don't want to buy pictures or photos of you or whatever.
Or go to whatever other site that you're promoting, because this one's too PG.
Check out your Instagram account.
Yeah. Whatever, bitches. So, as we wrap up this movie before we head on to our next one, Caroline, we'll start with you. What is your high point, low point, and rating 1 to 10?
I love this movie. I just want to say, because we didn't talk about it, that house that the whole movie sets place in is fantastic. It's probably really close to one of my dream houses, because I have a bunch. It's beautiful. So I love the setting. I love the creepiness of it. I love when a movie or a TV show talks about how technology can turn against us and kind of beats us in our own game. At the end of the day, we're the ones being in the experiment, and they're just controlling everything. So I love that. Love the acting. Love the actors. Directing for this movie to be this guy's first movie, it's amazing. I really want to see what he does. Low points, I don't think I have one. Like, I really enjoyed this movie. I'm sure that as soon as I stop talking, I'm gonna think of something, but I like this movie a lot, so I highly recommend it.
Rating 1 to 10?
I'll give it an 8. Or a 9. Something like that.
Tony, what was your high point, low point, and rating 1 to 10?
I liked almost the start to the finish for this movie. I will say my least favorite part, though, is just how depressing the ending is, because what a bitch.
Come on, Tony.
No, he got mad at Tinder.
He doesn't deserve it. He ups her out, you know? No reason for her to be so cruel.
She's a robot. You want her to be nice?
Yeah, because she's hot, and I like when women are good-looking and nice.
Oh,
and smart. She has 2 of those 3 qualities.
Just a bitch.
Yeah. One of my favorite parts of the whole movie is something that's just so out of the blue weird. It's when Oscar Isaac is drunk, and he says, "Why are you trying to use the phone?" And he's like, "What?" And he goes, "Who are you going to call?" And he's like, "Oh, nobody." He goes, No, who are you going to call? Ghostbusters. It's a movie. The ghost gives Dan Aykroyd oral sex. And it falls asleep. Like, that's the go-to thing to talk about with Ghostbusters is the blowjob scene. Which I totally didn't get when I was a little kid watching Ghostbusters. It was like, I don't know what's funny about this part. A couple years afterward, I'm like, oh! One of the things I liked about this movie quite a bit was it kept subverting the different tropes that I was expecting and trying to predict throughout hand. Like, well, if he's a robot, then this is going to happen. And then, like, 2 scenes later, it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess he's not a robot. And then, well, then this must be the twist. All right, well, then I guess that's not the twist and stuff. So it kind of kept me on edge, which is something I appreciate. Usually by now, I've seen enough movies. I know exactly what's going to happen. And the slight variations are something I might be able to predict, but this one, it kept me on my toes, so thumbs up for that. Big fan of the movie. Probably going to give it a 7 out of 10. I think I'd have to watch it a second time before I bump it up to an 8.
Nice. Well, there you have it, folks. Ex Machina is in the books, and stay tuned as we roll into our next film here on the February Movie Club, and that is The Hateful Eight by Quentin Tarantino.